so as the snow continues to fall here in Charlene, let's go ahead and speak with Thoriange to take on, if we can actually speak with them, our next main story quest entitled, Like Fear to Flame. It's time to proceed to the next stage of your plan. With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the XIV contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy onto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. And I will see you there. So, back over to Garlemald. Away we go. Alright, so it's been a while since we've reunited with Lucia as well as Maxima. Let's go ahead and speak with them. Hey you two, how have you been? Rika, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Voidstep incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us for not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great importance. Of which we will now go into further detail. And the music suddenly stops. And changes. Indeed, we appreciate you consulting with us instead of taking unilateral action. 'Tis no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Why is that? Maxima? Though we have yet to establish a governing body, we provisionally refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, most of whom are uncomfortable with the inferior manipulation. Yeah, still scared of magic. To compound matters, the trauma inflicted by Anima is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it is likely to cause distress and reopen old wounds. Yeah, now we have a moral dilemma. Better that than facing a mass invasion by Gobez and its void-sent hordes, surely. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation, as well as the promised bloodshed should we fail to act. Yet, even were we to convey your warning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Void set with their own eyes? Yeah, and seen their own people turned into them? Or blasphemies, more specifically? He's gonna ponder this one. Let us suppose you encounter someone who is freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes? Where are you going with it? But what if that person's sole experience with fire was being badly burned by it, and they harbored an acute fear? Despite the benefits, nay the necessity, of the warmth you offer, they may flee in instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. Yeah, now we have to carry that burden. So like the fire that torments this individual, the Tower of Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yeah, I wish we could get rid of it in its current format. Yet we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. Yes, we must. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak with Alfinod and Alice. With the rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. Good idea. In the meantime, Uriange, might I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation? I believe that will be a yes. So away goes Varshan, and Zero will accompany him. Alright, that means we now warp to Tertium. Well, aren't you a big boy? Anyway, time to reunite with the twins. I'm glad to see you, Rika. Vitra has explained our present dilemma. 'Tis no unfounded concern that the Guardians might take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel. That's putting it mildly. Many will be up in arms over it. Trusting the elements of our contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. Yeah. So tip your hat and think this over. Trust again. Uh-huh. As the music stops. Seems like Alice is about to say something. Well, it seems to me that there's not for it but to speak with the people. Rather than harping on about the necessity of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise. Alright. That's very wise there, Alice, eh? In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Senatus, near the Cenaculum Imperialis. I would be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where people elsewhere stand as well. But I will leave that to the others, save Zero. Might you accompany me? And we have her support. I'm sure those in Tapas Den will have their own opinions. Half an hour if I may drag you along. Of course you can. Tertium we leave to you. You are no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely. And of course, speaking of me, then it's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet in Form Solius, where we will have what I hope is a productive discussion. Let's hope you're right. Let's go do this. So there are no fewer than 5 people to speak to. Let's begin over here with Malleus. What would you like to say? Activate the Tower of Babel? Are you out of your mind? The abomination transformed my friends and family into monsters. I can't even bear to look at it whenever I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down! Well, if we can tear down the corrupted parts of it, I certainly would love to do that. Yeah, I doubt we'll get much out of this fretting lady. Especially since she's elderly, too. Fie, that tower ain't right, I tell you. All those magics. Years ago, when I lived in the provinces, the locals raised our village to the ground with the stuff. Made things appear and disappear and fly and burn. Still I can't see it when I close my eyes. You've done us a good turn, dear, but let's not talk about that tower any longer. It's unnatural. Yeah, the fact that she said provinces obviously means that her land was taken over by Garlemald. Yeah. How are we gonna convince this serious lad? No! Stop it! That's all it's evil! It'll turn us all evil! I don't want to hear it! Leave me alone! Yeah, you're not gonna convince a child of the gravity of this situation. Is there someone in the engine? No. But we still have his blood there. We still have Lord Quintus's blood stained on the banner. Meanwhile, this contemplative citizen, what can we say to you to try and quell your fears? The Tower of Babel? But what's it got to do with Void Scent? I can't say I understand. Still, your people have done much and more for us, Guardians. If you say it's necessary, then that's good enough for me. Well, at least we were able to alleviate someone's fears. But it may not all be that way. Especially since this little girl, Popea, we've seen her before in a previous quest. Hey there, little girl, we're back. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. I mean no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dared speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations or worse. No, forget I said anything, please. Yeah, not exactly the easiest thing to convince people of, so now we have to go where that is. So the forum, of course, will be outside of the station of Tertium, so let's be on our way out. So as we arrive on the scene here at Forum Soleus, yeah, of course, this thing's still brooding as much as it ever has. Like, they say we need to activate it, but if you ask me, it's been activated for a long time. Let's go ahead and speak with Zero, of all people, to complete the quest. Judas is on his way with the others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did. I hope you're right. So as we're talking this over, yeah, we have ominous music playing, which means there will be worries. Hello. Rika, may I present to you Lords Gnaeus and Metius, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower of the Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Ilsebald contingent. I see Alpha Node and Alice have yet to arrive there, so perhaps we should wait. Nice to meet you, sir. It doesn't matter if only some of you are present. We simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The Tower is the manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the Imperial family, and it will forever bear tremendous cultural significance. It is insulting enough that we've had to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid. And now you propose reactivating it? Nay, we have had enough. And as for your friend there, the golem old of old may have fallen, but she fell in civil war to her own people, not to Eorzea, nor any other land. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory. Garlemald, and all that lies within her bounds, is beholden to no one. So how do we change their minds? Yeah, look at my face. Yeah, so as Judas does the best he can to try and offer some semblance of persuasion, this is going to be harder than it looks. So in the meantime, we'll have to take 2,546 gil while they're trying to hammer this out. So it'll be up to Judas for us to continue with the quest, so once we eventually land on him, let's go ahead and speak with him to take on our next quest entitled The Fallen Empire. Judas is eager to get out of the cold. But where are we going to take them? Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I will escort them to Tertium. I'll also instruct Alpha Node and Alice to meet us there. Alright. Lord Metius, Lord Gnaeus, by your leave, my comrades and I will speak with the residents of Senatus. Though the Ilsebald contingent holds the Tower of Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, of their dreams for the future is sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I will struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground upon which we might build a relationship that sees us overcome our differences. Very well, but know that the guards will not hesitate to escort you from the premises should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. Yeah, which could be easily happening. If it's settled then, you should all head to Senatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Tertium. Alright. Take the gentlemen on their way. And we gotta go speak with Varshan, so he's gonna be all the way over there, so let's go and follow him. Alright, we are arriving where Zero and Varshan are, speaking with a person named Primus. Here it is, Senatus, a temporary refuge for political dignitaries, hence the tight security. I am given to understand that outsiders are not normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. And wow, more Halloween costumes? Really? I hope it will be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero. As do I. Into Sonatus? Yes. So yeah. Will you let us in, Mr. Primus? So upon our arrival... See, it's basically another subway station. Before we have the opportunity to... Yeah, I imagine we'll get more opportunity to look around and speak with people here before we... Or after we speak with Varshan. To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Eastward contingent and the current state of affairs. We would also do well to learn more about this enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep it in mind. It is through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. And so they go their separate ways. Investigate Sonatus and speak with a couple of residents. So we have a pile of crates here. So let's mime our hands on it. The stockpile of assorted supplies bears markings indicating they were provided by the Elsewhere contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant upon the Alliance for aid. Yeah, but I bet they would prefer if they didn't have to have it that way. Mr. Pelagia. You want to know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. I'll say this much. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life, what remains of it, at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald. Fair enough. That's a very civil and subtle answer, I must say. Barrels of ceruleum, yeah. We know that this has been in short supply around here. You recognize the large casks as the very same you and your comrades used to transport ceruleum from Lapis Manalis. But why they are in Sonatus is unclear. I guess we'll find out soon enough, won't we? So yeah, here's where they try and hammer things out. It's a whole bunch of desks with various documents and books, all pertaining to Garlemald, obviously. So over here, let's meet with Mr. Marcus, who has the most English-sounding name out of anyone here. Hello there, sir. How do I feel about the contingent? Conflicted, to say the least. I've been tasked with the distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive without outside aid. Be that as it may, even though the Empire's collapsed, we have our pride. People don't want to be beholden to others forever, and there's no denying that it chafes to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. So, there's Varshan on the opposite side. Can we jump over this? Yeah, we can. So as Varshan is speaking with someone else. And having concluded their conversation, seems like, yep, we're panning over to have Zero over. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? Well, here's what we discovered. Much the same as me then. They accepted the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. That's usually what they do. How many times must I tell you? It's absolutely out of the question! Yeah, who goes there and who's saying that in a very angry voice? Time to go find out. Yeah, Zero will just walk there. Yeah, obviously a Guardian soldier having issues with a, someone from Ishgard. What's going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is aught the matter? No, I was just trying to explain. Mr. Secundus. Huh? And you are? Mayhap you can clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns the Magitech weapons which run rampant throughout Regio Urbanissima. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we propose the elimination of all Machina that loiter near the supply route. But you heard them, they refused to even consider it. Yeah, safety apparently isn't worthwhile. The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampant or no, those war Machina are Guardian assets. Furthermore, who's to say that they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested that this could be a pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not if that is the case, but if the fact remains, we cannot allow you to destroy them. Yeah, still set in their ways as ever. More speculation by the magistrates, I'll presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken, and unless we want to inflame tensions further, there's not else we can do. What will you do, Zero? How complicated relations become when not grounded in a clear and equitable arrangements. Clearly not. Which is why the music stops. Yeah, Zero providing level-headedness. An equitable arrangement, of course. So what will we do? While I do understand the difficulty of your position, as a soldier you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must first speak with Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. Yeah, hopefully we have an answer for you soon there, Mr. Secundus. Yeah, what's on your mind? Like, okay, I'll agree to this. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. Well, let's hope it works as well as you say it will. And we'll leave you to it there, Mr. Secundus. Alright, so back to Camp Broken Glass. And so back to Broken Glass. Now we have to speak with Maxima. Welcome back, all of you. I pray that there have been positive developments in your efforts to appeal to the Guardian community. Well, not yet. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which I believe all stand to gain. Wait to tell us now? As Satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Razatan and the people of Galimod. Wow. Everyone's like, what? Because yeah, clearly the Elsabar contingent can't do it alone. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. That they have been able to survive thus far is thanks to the Elsabar contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. It is no surprise then that some Guardians are loath to engage with foreigners, for fear of indebting themselves further or surrendering more of their already limited autonomy. That is why I wish to present them with an equitable arrangement. One that would restore to them a sense of agency after having been forced to rely upon charity. Any details in specifically? Because yeah, Julia seems excited. Easier said than done. What exactly did you have in mind? Long have Galimod and Razatan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, but I wish to continue to continue in this tradition. Yeah, I had no idea that Razatan did actual trade with Galimod too. We will provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you would grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as share your Magitech resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we will of course require more ceruleum to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Razatan's culture will be enriched by your Magitech wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Galimod grow wealthy and prosperous. Yeah, too bad the dignitaries aren't around to hear this. Only when both sides keep the interests of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. It is a principle I once thought I understood, but have come to appreciate all the more in recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. Yeah. Believe it or not, Zero, you're about to change the world. Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlean, I myself see no reason to object to your proposal. Yeah, I think it's very impressive. Of course, he has been alive for thousands of years, so he should know what's going on. Indeed, if Razat Han were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us. If you see the sense in my proposal, then I ask you to join me in the negotiations at Tertium. Your support may be instrumental in winning over Lords Neas and Metius. Yeah. By all means, go with them. I have matters well here in hand. I have learned all that I may regarding the tower's operations, so I too shall hie me to Tertium. And so away we go. Yeah. Believe it or not, Zero, you're actually gonna have a hand in a significant swing of the pendulum around here. Let's go back over to Tertium to complete the quest. Yeah, apparently we got a really spectacular light show going on. Hopefully it's a good sign. So upon our arrival, a crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. The Tower of Babel is ours by rights, and nothing you do will convince us otherwise. Oh, really? Rest assured, it is not in our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let us instead discuss the future. As the satrap of Razat Han, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations. Yeah, and here's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, your insight will be helpful too, Neas. And Maxima will chip in too. The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lords. Sooner or later, we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure means to replenish our coffers, and the proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity. It is true we do not want from Margitic and Ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things as we lack. It will depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You serve the Emperor, were a proud patriot, yet now you entertain selling national resources like a common merchant. Well, what would you do? Like you, I weep for what we have lost, but if we are to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of what precious few assets remain to us. Nonsense. Utter nonsense. You are a traitor, Neas, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes. When the people of Sinotus learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Imagine what happens to him next. Lord Matthews, wait, it isn't safe. It isn't safe out there. I'm guessing because he's a soldier, he'll be able to get back safely on his own 2 feet, wherever he's going. So, yeah. One we could convince, the other we simply cannot. We'll take our 1,346 and maybe try and turn it around.